Amanda McQuarrie, Marketing and Community Relations Coordinator at Platte-Clay Electric Cooperative.
I'm Jim Cox, I'm the Safety Director at Platte-Clay Electric Cooperative.
Today we're here to teach you how to stay safe around electricity. Each year, approximately 1,000 people die from electrocution. Many of those were probably preventable. That's what this program is about. We're here to teach you how to stay safe around electricity.
During today's program, we're going to show you different situations where your electrical safety may come into question, and we're going to show you some of the do's and don'ts if you ever come across some of these situations.
The first hazard we're going to talk about today is overhead power lines. Accidental contact with an energized conductor, such as an overhead power line, could mean death or serious injury.
Trees are a common hazard, especially when they're close to the power line. So always be careful if you are playing in a tree, climbing a tree, building a tree house. Always look up, make sure your tree's clear of any power lines.
How many of you have flown a kite before? Probably most of us, but one thing you need to remember is always keep your kite away from overhead power lines.
But always stay away from power lines. Electricity will use that kite string to go to ground through the person flying the kite.
Over here we have an aluminum ladder to show why it's always important to keep ladders away from overhead power lines, especially aluminum ladders, which aluminum is a conductor of electricity. Most of us ride in a car or bus every day to get to school and work. So it's important that you know what to do if there's ever a power line on the vehicle you're in. Next, we have a short video we want to show you.
If you're ever in an accident that involves a utility pole and a downed power line, always consider the line and the vehicle to be live and dangerous. Onlookers, such as myself, should never attempt to get close to a downed power line or attempt to drive over one. If you're in the vehicle, stay put and warn others to stay at least 35 feet back from the power line.
Don't come any closer, stay back.
Then call 911. If you see fire or smoke, you'll need to exit the vehicle immediately. As you begin to exit the vehicle, make sure you do not touch the ground and the vehicle at the same time. Jump from your vehicle and land with both feet together. Then avoid lifting your feet as you slowly shuffle away from the vehicle and power line. If you separate your feet too far, you'll become an open circuit and could be electrocuted. Make sure you shuffle at least 35 feet away from the vehicle and power line. If the conditions are wet, you may need to move away even further. If you come across a downed power line, stay away and call 911. Remember, to avoid accidents, always look up in all ways.
You ever find yourself in a situation where you're in a vehicle, in the bus, you got an energized power line on the bus? The first thing you want to do is stay calm and stay on the bus. Your safest place is on the bus or in the vehicle.
Next, we're going to show you farm equipment and what to do if you're ever on a tractor that's touching an energized line. First, you want to remember to try to pull away if possible. If you can't pull away from the line, stay on the tractor until help arrives. You've probably seen a substation while riding in a car. They contain high voltage electric equipment.
Substations are always surrounded by high fences with barbed wire around the top, with signs on the fence that say warning, stay out. High voltage equipment inside, never enter a substation.
Next, we are going to look at a pad mount transformer, or big green box as many refer to them. They house fuses and high voltage wiring, so it's critical that you never play around these.
In this scenario, this pad mount transformer that Amanda talked about has been knocked open. Not supposed to be like that. The door should be closed and locked.
Another hazard is downed power lines. There's no way to know whether a line is energized by just looking at it. So if you see a line that's laying on the ground, always call Platte-Clay and stay away from it until help arrives. Underground lines are just as important as overhead lines, with the added danger being that you can't see them. So it's critical to always call 811 before any project that requires digging.
Always call before you dig. Get your locates. Red is electricity.
We have a few reminders as we wrap up today.
Always look up for overhead power lines. Be aware of your surroundings. Look up to live.
If you're in a vehicle and there's an overhead power line on it, stay calm and stay in the vehicle until help arrives.
Treat all down lines you see as though they're energized. Never touch them.
Remember that underground lines are just as important as overhead lines, with that added danger of being that you can't see them.
Always call for locates. Call 811 before you dig.
And as always, if there's any emergency involving our lines, call Platte-Clay Electric and we will come out as soon as possible.
Thank you for joining us today. Stay safe.